coming back and a couple talented freshman running backs coming in the summer. Have you seen kind of a sense of urgency with Malusi and Dukes trying to compete for as many carries as they can get?
Oh, yeah. And Rencher. Rencher's just steady Eddie, man. You just count on him. But definitely, Ches and Mikey. Mikey's a guy that I think Ches was a guy that I kind of noticed early in fall camp and kind of knew, hey, he's got some maturity to him. Mikey needed to mature. I just think he was just kind of happy to be there. But I think he's really ramped it up and is competing, very well. So all those guys, obviously got a couple good ones coming in this summer. It'll be a very competitive room for sure.
How would you guys to make smart choices as far as just obviously spring break stuff, but you haven't told them where to cut back on travel or anything in the travel restrictions?
I don't think any of them going to China or Italy or any of those places, but listen, they're going to go where they're going to go, and just try to caution them to be smart, wash your hands, stay away from sick people, and the obvious things that we should use common sense in doing. And they're going to go home or go to the beach or whatever. So I'm happy they're doing that.
A lot of guys are saying they're making a transition into a leadership role, like KJ and Trevor as well. How do you help them along with that this year?
Well, that's something we do every day. Developing leadership and chemistry is a daily commitment. It just never stops, ever. And so it's our team meetings. It's how we message everything. It's individual meetings and talking to them and just casual chit chat. It's everything. And then it's just how we do our accountability teams. And these guys, he's one right there that I think is a very natural leader. But when KJ first came in here, he wasn't quite mature enough for the guys to take him serious. And now he's put the work in, and he's got a chance to really be an excellent leader for us. And we got a bunch of those guys that I think are assuming those type of roles.
I'm sure you quarterback play together, all three of you guys.
I thought all three did excellent. Trevor missed one throw that he wanted to have back. Wide open, had a touchdown, and just missed him. But he made some great plays. Trevor's word right now is precision. That's kind of his challenge to himself. He's trying to just have precision in everything he does and just really being fanatical about that. Obviously he's just at another level from the other two when it comes to his foundation of football, what he's been exposed to, his experience and so forth. And so he's really, really challenged himself, and I'm proud of him. He's a great leader. He's unbelievably competitive. He wants to win every drill. He wants to score every time he gets it. And I thought he did a nice job today. He overcame a couple of third downs and longs. We had a fourth and I think 4 that led to a score, and then he went and got. He ran the ball well today. So he's doing an awesome job. Super proud of him. And the other two they both made some plays. They both are doing a heck of a job. Tyson had a big third and long throw to Max May, and then DJ came back and had a couple huge plays himself. Had a nice scramble run. Tyson had a nice scramble run for the first. So, they both did some good things, and we're mixing them up with groups and continuing to let them compete. But we got some good guys right there for sure.
What about Will Spires, your quarterback?
We don't rep him in practice, but he gives us a good arm. He can throw the ball, and he's taking a lot of pride. So he's our fourth Skelly quarterback, and he gives us all of our individual RBA and all that stuff. I don't put him out there with live bullets. But I think he's got somewhat of an understanding of our protections. But he's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job.
I'm sorry. Just for clarity, Justin, is his neck also had a stinger?
He said yes, it was a stinger, and he just kind of wasn't really much at all, but he just kind of had a little lingering stinger, and then he was fine. But anytime you have that, it's something that where it lingers just a little bit, you want to be very precautious, and so that's what our doctors are doing. And just have to you've been out here today. You're running full speed, and it looks great, but they're just hold him out of contact and make sure that there's no other issues.
How did y'all evaluate his season last year? I know he
Who?
came off that Justin. He came off that playoff, and everybody's talking about he's going to set the world on fire. Good year, wasn't probably the year everybody was expected. What did
He
you
had
take
better
from it?
stats last year than he had the year before, so had a pretty good year. I mean, I think he had more catches. I'd go back and verify that. And you guys got anything off your head? I think he had more catches.
His yards were a little lower.
Yards were a little
Yeah, he
lower,
had
but
1,000 as a
had
freshman.
more catches, and just had maybe more big plays. But that's, sometimes people play you differently, and we had a bunch of games where we didn't play. Just think if he'd have played 4 quarters every day. Just go and look at all the games that he didn't play hardly third or fourth quarter. So he did most of that in 2 quarters of play for the majority of the season. What did we win? 12 games by a bunch of points. He had a heck of a year, especially for all the limited play that he had.
Back to Cornell Powell, you mentioned that he's doing really well this spring so far. Saw him do really well in the last spring game last year. What does he need to do to transition that into Saturdays?
Consistency. That's always been his problem. Just day in, day out. Don't get out competed. That's really it. I don't have to say it. He's been out competed. He's always been talented. But when you're going against the best of the best, you have to bring it every single day. And he's had some moments, but he just playing with a high level of intensity and a high motor every day and making every play a game rep. That's how you take it to the next step. And he's kind of always been a guy that's been inconsistent with that. Very talented, but inconsistent with that motor. And some days great, and some plays great, and then you kind of take some off, and just sometimes you don't even know he's doing it. So, but he's got a real sense of urgency. He's got a great opportunity. He's competing his tail off, and he has really had a great 9 days. I'm not exaggerating that. He's been really, really good. I'm really proud of him. It ain't ever too late to get it right, and I'm gonna tell you what, he's busted his butt. Proud of him.
I think you had a reunion with your former players over the weekend. How much fun was that?
One of the best days of my life. I was overwhelmed. It was emotional, to be honest with you. I was overwhelmed. And all the guys that came, and some came in a little Friday, and some trickled in Saturday morning, watched some practice. But we had a big barbecue at 6 in the indoor, and then we all transitioned, and they had the dining hall set up like a big den almost. And there was over 200 and something people in there, and it was pretty emotional to get up and to see all those guys, because to me it just seemed like yesterday. Mike Palmer, Buckholz, who's 34. That's my first kicker. He's 34. It seems like yesterday to me. And when you get in a setting like that, it's so easy to just boom, you're right back in it's like you feel like you're back in a team meeting, or you're back on practice. It's just like you kind of go back to that relationship. And these are grown men with kids and jobs and mortgages, and but I was blown away by the turnout. 9 of the 12 Dandy Dozen were here. That was pretty special. To be able to visit with them, and it was just an awesome night. And I just tried to kind of give them a good old-fashioned Coach Swinney meeting, like we do on a Friday night, but I did it on a Saturday night. And it was cool to be able to talk to the older version of them. But they had a ball. I'm still recovering, to be honest with you, because we got out. We left the facility. It was a little after midnight, and some of them wanted to go to the house, and I think so. Ended up Sammy Watkins and Carico and Meeks and Gary Peters and Renfro and Martin Jenkins, I think, was in that group. They all wanted to go to the house, so we all go to the house. Well, we all play basketball till 2 o'clock in the morning. We're playing basketball. Sammy's out there in, some kind of fancy high tops with bling on them, and I'm sure he's not supposed to be playing basketball in. And they're telling what they cost, and but we're all having a ball and playing basketball, and it was just a blast. And then we came in about 2. And then Kath had pizzas everywhere, and so we just had a great time eating pizza and telling stories and laughing at each other. It was just special. It was such a special moment. And then I'm looking down, and I'm like, man, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And it was like, Kath goes, no, babe, the clocks go forward an hour. It's 4 o'clock. And I mean, I just went, oh my Lord. So I actually didn't go to sleep till like 5 a.m. and I'd gotten up at like 6 the day before. So but it was such a good time. I mean, I just am so excited to spend time with everyone. And, you know, Dwayne Allen, we told all kind of stories, and Grady was up here, and just a special time, you know, and talked about each team, kind of what I felt like each team's identity was, and kind of the story of that team. But those guys truly were the foundational pieces to where we are today, and you know, it was awesome for me to be able to thank them and celebrate them, and just kind of share a little bit about and remind them of who they are and how we all got here, and you know, what we got to do moving forward. So it was a really amazing weekend. Travis Blanks did an amazing job of pulling it all together, and I appreciate all of our guys that came. They were awesome.
You mentioned Andrew Booth earlier. What part of his knee had to get cleaned up? Is he a guy that y'all considered redshirting in 2019?
We talked about it like for a millisecond, but we just felt like that you know, whatever experience he got was going to help him mentally, and just knowledge and being in the meetings and going through the reps, and he could do all that. It wasn't like, and he could go play. We knew that he needed to. At the end of the season, we were going to have to, you know, kind of clean him up a little bit. It's really a high school thing where it started and where he's dealing with, but he's doing great, and we're being very precautious with him. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing with him, because he's doing skelly, he's doing individual, he's doing some team stuff separate, but we're just not letting him do any of the full speeds competitive. We're keeping him in green right now, but hopefully after spring break we'll ramp that up. And but I'm really encouraged by what I'm seeing out of him as far as just his understanding, how he's moving, his alignments, understanding leverage, and he looks great. He feels good, looks great, and hopefully that'll transition well for him.